Good afternoon. Myself Santosh Yadav, and I welcome to all of you in physics lecture of class 12. You all are welcome in LPM premises. Today's our lecture is Young double slit experiment. Young's double slit experiment. So it's a very important part. So as you know, there is two sources, coherent sources, which having constant phase difference at any particular location. So we made here S1, S2. This is screen, and distance between screen and the slits is d, and distance between two slits is small d. Okay, so when wave travel like that, at this position both the waves are traveling same distance, that is path difference between two waves is 0. So corresponding phase difference, as we know the formula of phase difference, delta phi equal to 2 pi by lambda into delta x. As delta x equal to 0, it means delta phi equal to 0. That is, both the waves may meet at this point in same phase. So maxima will obtain, constructive interference will occur here. So maxima will obtain. This is called central maxima. There are two sources, coherent sources, that is phase difference is constant between the two waves originated from two sources. So at this point both the waves travel same distance, that is path difference between the waves is 0. Since path difference is 0, as we know the formula of phase difference, that is 2 pi by lambda into delta x. So phase difference will also 0. It means both the waves meet at same phase. So maxima will obtain at this position, which is called central maxima. Now we consider here, write it down. Okay. Now we consider at any general point P, where two waves interfere each other, and let the position of P is y from central maxima. So at this point, what is the path difference between two waves? So as we know, path difference is delta x equal to S2p minus S1p, because wave originate from S2 travel more distance than wave originate from S1. So path difference will be S2p minus S1p. So what is S2p here? This is called d, and d is divided into two equal parts, d by 2 from midpoint. So S2p is equal to, in this triangle, this distance h square plus this distance square. S2p is the hypotenuse in right angle. So S2p will be y plus this distance is d by 2 So S2P is y plus d by 2 whole square plus capital D whole square, and we should take under root. Hypotenuse equal to perpendicular square plus base square under root. Similarly, what is S1P? S1P is this one. So take this line here. So S1P equal to y minus, this is also d by 2. This is d. So d by 2, d by 2. So S1P equal to y minus d by 2. This length is what? This length by square, that is y minus d by 2 whole square plus d square and take under root of 8. So S2P is y plus d by 2 whole square plus d square under root minus S1P equal to y minus d by 2 square plus d square under root. This is S1P. So this is the formula for part difference at point P. This is the basic formula of part difference, but it is not easy task to solve it. So you can ignore this formula, but you should know about this formula, how this formula is formed. So this is the basic formula, but it is not easy to solve the equation of this formula, so we can ignore it. So we should take assumption for it. There are two types of assumption. First assumption is small d is much lesser than d, and second assumption is lambda is much lesser than d. So let's see. So write it down. First assumption. Small d is much lesser than capital D. Small d is much lesser than capital D. It means these rays must be parallel. Because if capital D is very far, very large, then the sources are kept very far, and the lines, rays coming from far sources look like parallel. You can see D is very small, so S1 and S2 are very close to each other. This is screen. So line originated from S1 and S2 looks like almost parallel. This is S1, this is S2. So this diagram can be changed like that. This is S1, this is S2, and this is D. So ray almost must be parallel. This is midpoint, so this ray also must be parallel. So from horizontal, let it make theta degree, then this would be also theta degree, and this would be also theta degree. S1 and S2 are very close. S1 and S2 are very close, so both the rays are parallel like that. And since midpoint is in between S1 and S2, so this ray also be parallel to both the rays. Okay, so if we draw the perpendicular here, this would be the path difference between two waves. This is path difference. This is central maximum, delta x equal to 0, and this is y, and this distance is d. So delta x, this wave travel extra delta x with respect to this wave. So delta x is the path difference between two waves. So this is theta, this is 90 degree. This is theta, this is 90 degree, so this is 90 minus theta. So this would be theta. So you can say in triangle S1, S2, and this is called normal N. Delta x equal to d sin theta. Delta x equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse equal to sin theta. So delta x equal to d sin theta. This is the path difference. It is easier than previous one. So you can solve it easily. For path difference, delta x equal to d sin theta. Here, this is why you can write here position of y equal to tan theta equal to y upon d. Tan theta equal to y upon d. So we know d, and if we get sin theta and tan theta, we will get y also. So what is the sin theta here? Sin theta equal to delta x by d. If suppose we want to get first maxima, position of first maxima from central maxima, then we will get here delta x equal to lambda. And path difference for maxima is n lambda. Path difference between two waves will be n lambda for maxima. So for first maxima, you should put here 1, n equal to 1. So for position of first maxima, we put here 1, then we will get delta x equal to lambda. Sin theta equal to lambda by d. We know lambda, we know d, so we will get tan theta also. So tan theta equal to y by d. So y equal to sin theta we will get lambda by d. So you also find tan theta. How? Let's see. In right angle, this is theta, this is y, this is d. So this will be y square plus d square under root of y square plus d square. So sin theta equal to y upon d. Sorry, sin theta equal to here sin theta equal to lambda by d. So this is lambda, this is d. So this would be lambda square d square. So tan theta will be perpendicular upon base lambda by d. You know? So you can find, as we find sin theta, then definitely you can find tan theta also. Sin theta is lambda by d. It means, listen. Sin theta is lambda by d. Lambda this one and this is d. Perpendicular. So this would be d square minus lambda square under root. D square minus lambda square under root. So tan theta will be lambda upon under root d square minus lambda square. So y equal to d tan theta. So d tan theta lambda upon under root d square minus lambda square. We know the value of d, we know the value of small d, we know the value of lambda here. So you can find the position of first maxima from this equation. Okay. Sin theta equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So tan theta will be d square minus lambda square under root. So tan theta equal to perpendicular upon base. So put this value here, then you can find out y here, isn't it? So this is the formula for path difference between two waves when first assumption is taken, that is small d is much smaller than capital D. Now we should take another assumption, that is theta is small. Theta is small. As we know, sin theta equal to lambda by d. If theta is small, it means lambda is much smaller than small d. You can write here lambda is much smaller than small d. Theta is small, very small. This is the formula which can be already discussed. Sin theta equal to lambda by d. As theta is very small, so sin theta will also very small. Sin theta is very small. It means lambda will be very small as compared to small d, because d is fixed. So lambda is very small with respect to d. So first condition is small d is much lesser than capital D, and second condition is lambda is much lesser than small d. This is the second assumption. This is the second assumption. So if we put here tan theta equal to y by d. Tan theta equal to y by d. If theta is very small, so you can write here. Theta equal to sin theta equal to tan theta. Here we use general formula n lambda, because this is the position of first maxima, that is lambda, but path difference is n lambda, then this is the general equation. If suppose we want to get second maxima, so n equal to 2, third maxima, n equal to 3, fourth maxima, n equal to 4, and so on. So sin theta equal to n lambda by d. This is the general formula for any maximas. N equal to 1, we get first maxima. N equal to 2, we get second maxima, and so on. So if theta is very small, so you can write here sin theta equal to tan theta. because theta is very very small. So you can put this value here, sin theta equal to n lambda by d equal to tan theta. From this equation and this equation you will get y by d equal to n lambda by d. That means y equal to n d lambda by d. This is the position of general maximas. This is the position of general maximas. As we know, path difference is delta x equal to d sin theta. In terms of path difference, and sin theta is equal to tan theta. You can write here delta x equal to d tan theta. So d tan theta equal to y by d. So delta x equal to dy by d. This is a path difference between two waves. In second assumption case, if we take two assumptions, d much smaller than capital D and lambda is much smaller than small d, then you will find path difference between two waves is equal to dy by d. This is the most general form. 95% this formula is used for path difference between two waves. That is dy by d. It is much easier than previous one. Y is the position of maximas or minimas. Capital D is the distance between slit and screen. Small d is the distance between two slits, and delta x is the path difference between two waves. So this is much easier formula for path difference. And in this formula, two assumptions are used. Small d is much smaller than capital D, and lambda is much smaller than small d. So today's lecture is over right now, and we will discuss furthermore about Young double slit experiment. Thank you.